anxiety is a close personal friend of yours, then you've probably experienced catastrophizing just a time or two. This is when the brain has a worry or a fear and it just assumes that the worst case scenario is the only possible outcome. Now, yes, of course, this is a protective mechanism. It means well. However, it can also lead to increased anxiety. And as you probably know, when we have increased anxiety, it's harder to focus or concentrate on the things that we need to or want to do throughout our day. Also, it's just real uncomfortable. So if you're ready to break free from catastrophizing, then stay tuned. As always, before we can tweak or change our thoughts at all, we first need to be aware of them. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and check out this video right here, all about how to catch our thoughts. Once we get familiar with our worries, our fears, our thoughts in general, then we can start going through the decatastrophizing process. This process consists of 4 general steps, and we're just going to walk through them one by one today. Step 1, identify the catastrophe. In this step, we're actually going to write down what we believe is going to happen. Now, honestly, this can be kind of a scary step for a lot of people, right? Like, we're writing down the things that we're afraid of. And sometimes we have this thing called thought reality fusion, where if we acknowledge the thought or if we write it down, we think that it's absolutely going to happen. This is especially the case if that thought or worst case scenario is more of an intrusive type of thought. So if it sounds really scary to write down those worst case scenario thoughts, and like if I write it down, it's gonna for sure come true, then I would consider talking with a counselor about it so you guys can process through it together in a safe way and a safe environment. Now, after you've written down your prediction, we're actually going to rate them on a scale of 0 to 100%. And we're going to be rating how awful you think that it would be if this situation actually came true. Step 2, question how realistic this fear is. You can answer the following questions to get a better idea of where this fear, this thought, lies on the likeliness or reality spectrum. Has anything like this ever happened before? What is the best case scenario? What is the absolute worst case scenario? And what is the most likely possibility here? Step 3, what's next? Step 3 actually gives us an opportunity to plan out how we would cope or how we might respond if this worst case scenario actually happened. So in this step, we can actually look back on prior experiences that may share similarities and kind of think back to, well, how did I manage that particular situation? How did I make it through? How did I cope back then? Who would you call? And how might you ask for help if you needed help? Those types of things. Step 4, acknowledging the impact. It can be helpful at times to just kind of play out what the impact would be if this thing did happen, if this fear did come true. And basically what this allows us to do is just acknowledge, what do we think this is going to look like and how am I going to be? Am I going to be okay? And what does that look like? So we can write out what are the chances that we're going to be okay if this thing did happen. And we can look at these chances of being okay in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, you get the idea. So go ahead and try out this technique with any of those worst case scenario fears that you might be having, and definitely go ahead and drop me a note down in the comments to let me know how it's going and what you think of this technique. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you stay up to date with all of the fresh videos, and I will see you next time.